Cleveland is a 3-point favorite tonight. Stephen A., this game will count because you'll be in attendance. What do you expect?
Well, first of all, usually I'm in attendance covering the game and probably doing something for SportsCenter. Not to say that I won't be on the 6 o'clock SportsCenter tonight. I probably will, but that is not why I'm here. The winner for the Jimmy V Foundation contest with the Jimmy V Foundation, they have requested my presence to accompany them. And Dan Gilbert, the owner for the Cleveland Cavaliers, was kind enough to have us in his suite, using his suite for the Jimmy V Foundation winner. So that is why I'm here, to honor a wish by a basketball fan who won the contest.
I love that.
Yes, so,
That's great. Paying it forward.
Even though Stevie A love the kids, I love a lot of people, but I'm in a lot better mood when I'm healthier, and I've been sick over the last couple of days. So to those who've encountered me and I've been rude, I apologize, but damn it, I've been sick, and y'all keep coming up to me, which makes me worse. But that's a different story for another day. Back to the game. Here's the deal. I believe that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win tonight's game. I believe it is primarily because of what happened on Christmas Day. Skip Bayless, as you did not hesitate to bring up, because I might have lamented it while you probably enjoyed it. Even though LeBron James had 25 points that game, he shot like 10 or 26 from the field. Horrifically 4 of 9 from the free throw line, including missing 3 of his last 4 free throw attempts. That was bad. Plus a turnover, a missed layup. He certainly wasn't himself, even after coming out to the Oracle and shooting earlier during Christmas Day to get himself ready for this particular game. You look at the way he performed, it wasn't great. Kevin Love only had 10 points that game. He wasn't great. It was one of the first games that Kyrie Irving had returned. He shot like 4-15 from the field. He wasn't great. J.R. Smith was inconsistent. He wasn't great that game. And then when you look at Golden State, Draymond Green was absolutely sensational at 22, 15, and 7. Steph Curry only had 19. Both he and Klay Thompson shot 1 of 4 from three-point range. They made their free throws, though. Okay, that was the difference. And Sean Livingston came off the bench. And whether it's the final skip or Christmas Day, they don't seem to have an answer for the problems that Sean Livingston causes for them. Having said all of that, this is a regular season game. The Warriors haven't looked as formidable over the last week and a half as they've looked for most of this NBA season. I look at it, and I look at the fact that here they are traveling to Cleveland. It's freezing here, Skip. I'm quite sure even though it gets cold in San Francisco and the Oakland area, it doesn't get like this. It's cold here today, okay? I think that you take all of those things into consideration along with the fact that Kyrie Irving is finding his groove. I think he'll have a much better game tonight. I think JR will have a much better game tonight. I think Kevin Love will have a much better game tonight. And I think that LeBron will be very, very aggressive tonight. And the combination of all of those things, all right, knowing the fact that they came in here and the last time they were here, the Warriors celebrated at their expense, I think Cleveland will be ready. I think they will handle their business tonight. I think that Klay and Steph will be better, but I don't think it will be enough. I think Cleveland wins tonight's game. They split the season series, and they shake hands and say, look forward to seeing y'all in June, even though they both know that Oklahoma City and San Antonio might have something to say about that.
They might. I agree with your assessment. I think Cleveland wins and wins fairly convincingly tonight, maybe by 8 or 10 points. I don't know if anybody's noticed because we're in the throes of the NFL playoffs, but Golden State's lost some momentum, little edge, little flow. It's not quite the way it was when we thought they were going to win every game. And Saturday night at Detroit, Golden State got blown off the floor, wound up 113-95. And just last Tuesday night, my Spurs went into the same Detroit arena. And that Detroit team, you know, they're coming. They got a lot of talent, starting with Andre Drummond, your guy.
UConn.
Yep, UConn. But my Spurs went in there and led by 19 and finally wound up winning 109-99. And now I'm looking at point differential per game. My Spurs continue on an NBA record pace, 14.2 points a game, point differential. They blew out Dallas last night. Golden State has slipped to 11.1 in point differential, so they're not nearly on the same roll they were earlier. And then I look at defense, which, as we all know, can tell the tale. My Spurs rank number 1 in defense, holding teams under 90 a game. A close second is Cleveland. I admire what LeBron and company are doing on the defensive end. They are really good. And that was a battle the other night in San Antonio between the Cavs and the Spurs defensively. It was at the highest level. Golden State has slipped all the way to 19th in points allowed. 19th? I considered them a really good defensive team that all of a sudden starting to look like Steph or bust. And at Detroit the other night, Steph made 13 or 26 shots, but he took 26 shots. So it's like he's become more of a solo act than he used to be. And I'm not saying they're a bad team, because they're a really, really good team. The odds are still in their favor, I think, to be the odds-on favorite to win it all. But my Spurs are coming. Oklahoma City's coming. They blew out Miami at Miami last night. And Cleveland is here, because I was really impressed the other night, Stephen A., when Cleveland went from that narrow loss at San Antonio and went right down to Houston and just blew their doors off at home. That was impressive. That's hard to do back-to-back, doing that Texas two-step. So I admire what the Cavs have. They got depth. They play hard on both ends. So I think they'll get Golden State tonight.
Well, listen, I think so. I think so as well. But let me take a moment, Skip, to just jump off of both teams' bandwagon and give major props to Stan Van Gundy. He's doing a hell of a job in Detroit. He's doing a hell of a job. And Drummond averaging 17 and 15. And Reggie Jackson, your former Oklahoma City Thunder, and Russell Westbrook's backup, he's averaging nearly 20 and 7. 19 and a half points, more than 6 assists a game. The brother can play. And Pope and one of the Morris twins, and Ilyasova and those boys. Listen, Stan Van Gundy is doing a hell of a job. And Detroit is on the come up. So he deserves to be given props to that. When I look at Cleveland, and I look at the Warriors losing to them said something to me, because, again, other than Andre Drummond, if you're Detroit, you're basically a poorer man's version of what Cleveland tries to do. In terms of Cleveland with their perimeter play and their athleticism and the fact that they go small and they try to up the tempo and attack you. So for Detroit to be able to do that to Golden State really resonated with me, because it's along the lines of what Cleveland would like to do. This is why you have the combination of Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love starting a lot of times, as opposed to Mozgov being in the middle the way that he was during the NBA Finals. In an ideal world, you don't want to deal with Andrew Bogut. You have to. But if Tristan Thompson can give you stuff against him to be as effective as he is, rebounding the basketball, blocking shots, whatever the case may be, and he's doing that for you at the 5, then you don't need Mozgov in there. You can keep Love in there. So you've got somebody to help LeBron spread the floor with Kyrie Irving. And then now all of a sudden you see why Cleveland believes they had a legitimate shot to beat Golden State. They probably would have if it hadn't been healthy. I'm not saying that would have happened. I believe it would have, but let's give props and respect to Golden State. All I'm saying is, if you're Cleveland, this is the mindset that you have. We were not ourselves, and it wasn't just because of the injuries to Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. It's because literally without them, we can't play the brand of basketball that you need to play against Golden State in order to beat them. So I think tonight goes a long way towards Cleveland showing the basketball world, if we have our boys, this is what we can do. Because if Golden State comes out there, even though it's a regular season game, with Kyrie and Kevin Love, both healthy in the lineup, capable of spreading the floor with LeBron, with Tristan playing the 5, and you still go out there and get smoked by the Golden State Warriors, then we're not going to look at Cleveland the same way that we've been looking at them over these last few months. I think they know that. And I think that's why it's going to be important for them to send that kind of message tonight.
So, in conclusion, you were the grand prize in the Jimmy V auction. That's amazing to me.
I don't know if I was the grand prize.
I think you were. Sounds like
I was one of the prizes. This was the prize. I'm happy to do it. Obviously, we're all battling, cancer research and what have you. So I was happy to do it. Honored to do it.
You.
I just wish I was feeling better while doing it.
You'll put on your A game.
Yeah.
You'll be great, and that is a great prize. Getting to go see a game there. Don't laugh, Skip. I think it is.
I think it's a really good prize.
Whatever. The Seahawks fall short of their 3rd straight Super Bowl. So will the Legion of Boom be back among the elite in 2016? I can't keep a straight face with these guys. We look ahead to Seattle's future. Stephen A., you're my prize.
Yeah.
See you in a few.
Is that right?
Yeah.